Right, edakiika 3 zezakaita ku ssaawa 3 ez'okumakya olunaku olwaleero. It's a Thursday, and every Thursday we talk about business, twogera ku bya business, ku by'emirimu, ku by'enfuna, and we bring different people. Of course, babaweeyo financial literacy, bababuulira engeri gy'okurunningamu business, babaweeyo ideas of how to improve, market your businesses and so on. And today tulina omugenyi waffe Mwasuze Sharon, and she's a founder, CEO of Freshly Clean company. Nga yo kugamba yatandikibwawo okulaba nti asobola okubeera nga ebintu byalongoosa ebizimbe, offices, amayumba n'ebirala bingi nnyo. Olunaku lwaleero agenda kubanga atubuulira olugendo lwe, biki byayiseemu, ensobi ze yakola, era okufiirwa kwe yayitamu, giyite losses ze yayitamu mu business ng'agitandise, ate era n'okutya kwe yalina ng'atandikawo business yeeno, kubanga jjukira yalina omulimu gwe ngaffe ng'abwa bulijjo, corporate 8 to 5, omulimu gwe gwa bulijjo, n'ate n'agamba nedda, I can do so much. Why don't I start a business of my own? Bw'atyo nno n'atandikawo company etambula bulungi, naye ate munange byonna tebitandika nga bwe mbiraba. Olunaku olwaleero katuyingire mu lugendo lwe paka ssaawa 4. Nze Stella Nante, Mwasuze Mutya. Kale, ono wetugenda okuyingirira mulamwa gwaffe olunaku olwaleero without wasting any time. Tukimanyi nti nno zino business entonotono nazo ziyina ettaffaali kyerigattako ku ikonomi ya Uganda, era nga abantu bangi bazeeyunye nnyo nga mu by'obulimi, mu bya services nga Sharon business ye byehandlinga n'ebintu ebirala bingi nnyo. Sharon, omulamwa gwaffe ogw'olunaku olwaleero tugenda kuba twogera kugamba okutya okutandika n'akatono, ate era n'engeri gy'osobola okumanagingamu okufiirwa oba losses mu business. Sooka obuuze ku bantu baffe, and then tweyongereyo maaso.
Neeyanziza nnyo Stella. Mwasuze mutya mwenna. Mwebale nnyo hosting me here. Thank you so much for hosting me here. Amanya gange bampita Sharon Mwasuze, founder of Freshly Clean. Freshly Clean kitongole kirongoosa, tulongoosa what we call domestic ge mayumba ge tubeeramu. You can also call them apartments, standalone houses, Airbnbs, which is still it would mean still domestic or commercial. Tusangibwa Enalia Estates, where tusangibwa, that's where the home of Freshly Clean is. Tubadde mu business emyaka 6 kati nga tulongoosa. So Jane tebadde mbi, ebadde nnungi, but for business yonna omuntu aba ng'atandika business, of course there's always time to start.
Yeah, there is so much to put into consideration.
Yeah, there's so much to put in consideration when you're starting a business.
Naye nga tetunatuukayo Sharon, of course abalabi, of course wagambye nti no wasookera mu mulimu, oli employed.
Yes.
8 to 5.
Yes.
That was a kind of job.
Yes.
And now tubeera mu comfort, you know, gamba ninza omusaala nkola and everything. Naye nga tunatuukayo wasomerera bintu nga ki?
Nakola business. Business administration, that's what I did. But ng'omuntu yenna, while you on the Kampala streets looking for a job, most of the times tusomye si bye tukola, because most of the times you're looking for, you know, here the bread that you're going to bring home. So nafuna opportunity ekola mu bank, but because I did bank I think for 1.5 years, because it wasn't my dream job. We all have career paths, and I felt like siche chali ekintu tenali njagala, but it was a job that I was really grateful to have it, but siche chali ekintu chenali njagala okola. So as time went on, yes, when I decided transiting okuva mu employment to being an entrepreneur, it was the hardest thing ever, because I had not done business before. Yes, regardless of being into doing business, but still it is very practical what we learn at campus, putting it in being an entrepreneur, it's also something totally different because it's experience. You need someone to be able to help you walk that journey, but it is not easy when transiting. Yes. Yes, ogwasoka. Then natene mala nenvayo before that nenzira one organization FHI 360 of Lamu. Still got with organizations. Yes, it was one of those jobs that I really thought I would thrive in, and I love because I'm a people person. I love to travel njagala nnyo Tumblr to get them ban to find out how people are living. Yeah, being a humanitarian. But then later, as life went on, I am married, I got married, and then you have to be out in the fields, and then work-life balance. So while being out in the field, you're thinking, so I mean, how am I supposed to balance, I mean, work and home? So I sat down and was like, okay, I think this is a time where I need to transit. Vekati mukukola nonye ekyokukola nsobola okubeera nga nsobola okuweereza home obudde. So that is where the thought of leaving employment to go to being an entrepreneur because of the need to be able to balance work-life balance. As mothers, while we work, it's not easy. People can attest to it. It's really not easy because most of the times while you're nursing, you need some time home. And 8 to 5 with this kind of traffic, you either leave home at 6 and you get home at 9 due to traffic. So you don't have quite a lot of time.
I know.
Yeah.
Kati wano mukuvayo ngogenda kutandika as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
There were fears.
Oh, well, a lot of fears.
Tell me about
a lot of fears. One, especially you do analysis, like self-analysis, and you realize, for me as a person, as never a risk taker. That's the one thing. And you know, business is a risk. I know. It's taking risks every now and then. Yes, being a risk, you have to calculate. Most definitely, you have to make the first step. So moving from employment to becoming an entrepreneur, I think we really need transition coaches. A transition coach to be someone to help you understand what you want to get into, make you understand that it's okay for you to start. Mindset. Yes, mindset. Yes. Now it's a broader thing. Yes, believe you me, I think I quit in my head like 3 times.
In your head?
Yes, in my head.
Like today.
I'm doing this. But then it's hard thinking of, okay, so where do I start from? What do I want to do? Regardless, yes, it's very clear. Sometimes people have something clear that they want to do, but there are some people who think, okay, I think I can do X, I can do Y, I can do Z. So now that is where it's also very complicated because you're thinking, what exactly is that one thing that you've zeroed down to do? And then secondly, with that one thing that you want to do you know where to start from?
Do you even love it?
Do you even love it? Oh, some people are just excited, but if it is the passion, how are you going to make business sense out of the passion? I remember at a particular time while we go ahead and I explained I had too much passion that I was not sure how it was going to translate into making business sense.
For particular cleaning business?
Yes, for cleaning business. Wow. Because at first, before I started, you know when you say, you can attest to it when you say, Chino chensazeho kati chengendo kola, or maybe I'm leaving employment, you have no idea how many people will be in your mind. Because you have people around you, friends, family. And then they will look at you and they're like, Stella, I think you're good at this. I think let's make a salon, you're good. Let's do makeup because they see you with all those face bits because you take care of yourself. Believe you me, I had all that. I think people bombarded me. Of course, it came out of love and they came from a good space. Kubanga bali balabanga chosobola buli omwajja nakugamba Stella, someone will look at you and go like, I think you can be able to do this, and they'll put it in your head. But at the end of the day, when you go back, you have to do a self-analysis to understand, is this something that I can do? Is this something that I'm passionate about?
All those voices in your head, if someone doesn't have direction,
exactly,
that is what's going to happen. You get to get confused.
Yeah, you get confused.
And that leads to procrastination. No gama kati uba, kati noza ba kolechino, nende da like. Did that happen to you?
Yes, it did happen, and that is why I sat home for 3 months.
When you had finally quit.
Yes.
Now,
when I finally quit, I sat home for 3 months. It was the longest time in my entire life. Why? Because I was used. Yes, I was used to an 8 to 5. Now sitting down home to, you know, when you are a workaholic, even leave comes through and you're very excited, but after 2 days you're thinking, so what am I going to do? And now you're seated. Yes, and now you're seated and you're wondering, okay, so what's going to happen? So later, after the 3 months, there's a friend of mine who echoed to me and said, Sharon, you have an OCD, a terrible OCD. You like to clean every time you're organizing things, you come to people's homes. There's a time, because I'm a mother of twins, so there was a time I had 2 maids. And the 2 maids, I had a program for them of what they were supposed to do. So when my friends used to come home and they were like, I think this is too extra. Why would you have 2 maids? And why do you have? I'm like, they need to align and understand what they're supposed to do from morning. And of course, with a little bit of the OCD that I had to make sure everything is organized, everything is placed the way it's supposed to. I think this friend of mine that spoke to me said, I don't know about cleaning companies, but I feel like you would thrive in such a business.
Wow.
Believe you me, after all the businesses, the ideas, that stuck. Honestly speaking, I couldn't sleep that night. I started thinking, and quickly we ran to the internet.
Of course.
Yes, we run to the internet because that's soulless, and you're like, okay, let me find out what is this about cleaning companies. And the only thing I could see were the cleaning companies that were cleaning malls, buildings, because you're at work. Of course, we had a cleaning company that was cleaning. So, and then it was so absurd that even the websites that they had, when I would type in cleaning companies Uganda to just find websites, they were not sufficient.
Inspiration at that point.
Yes, at that point I needed something. I needed something so that to make sense out of it. You see, when someone tells you there's this, the first thing you go do your research. So while I was doing research, so in my mind I was like, okay, so if I'm not seeing much, okay, so where do I start from? So quickly when you go to the internet again and you search for the other cleaning companies, it's quite different. I wanted something relating to in Uganda. How are the cleaning companies structured? How do they do what they do? So it was also nerve-wracking. But because I really felt like it spoke to me, I quickly went ahead and registered a company.
Okay, you talked about excitement and all these things that I have the money, so I can do A, B, C, and D. Now, but here, passion drove you towards a certain direction. But then still there are fears that, can I really do this? And then also the lack of data. Like you checked websites and the information was like mediocre.
So true.
So where did you get the real data about the cleaning service?
Now, the real data, honestly, I didn't get it off online. I really had to go down abantu abakola cleaning so that they can be able to help me understand, because it was more relatable than going onto the internet. You're just going to get the data, and that's pretty much that's pretty much it. But you need something more relatable. So I had a friend of mine who introduced me to someone that was running a cleaning company, and unfortunately, they didn't come forth.
That's what I was going to ask you. Were they really?
No, they weren't. I don't know whether they looked at me as competition, but remember, I had just only registered, and I didn't have much. I didn't even have the equipment, but I just wanted to understand what I was getting into, understand the pros, the cons, how to do it, how has it been, how has your journey, exactly what you're doing right now. That's what I wanted. So this person just asked me one question. It's like, it's not easy here. I mean, you need contracts. You don't even have equipment. You need equipment. You don't even have a team. You haven't even started. So really, I don't think there's anything much that I would share. Wow. I was like, the streets are hard already.
And you had to find your way through.
Yes, I had to find my way through.
You talked about the registration of the business. You had already gotten a name for it? And like the location?
Now, that is the excitement. The excitement will make you... But I'm the kind of person who's like, I can't put one foot in there. Let me do something to seal it. Yes, to seal it. To go like, Nsimbudde. So let me register. So why freshly clean? I wanted fresh and clean. Clean of CLEAN. That's what I wanted. But you know, under URSB, we are even people that do laundry are all registered under cleaning. So we couldn't have the same name with someone who had a laundry that had fresh and clean. So that's why I changed it to Clean of Care. LEEN, and I didn't have to go back to the drawing board again, go find another name and all that. So it was, it was good enough.
The registration process.
And it was smooth because I got a lawyer that did that for me, and it was clearly, it took me only 3 days. That's the easiest part.
Minus the registration, what else? Location and all. Had you gotten all that in mind?
No. I was still home. I was still home.
Ideas of where to put it and the offices and stuff.
For me, what I wanted the first was to understand what I'm getting into before I even go into office space. Remember, I told you I'm not a risk taker, so I'm trying one step at a time. I'm trying one step at a time. Before I get into this, can I get someone to make me make sense out of it? Can I get someone to help me understand the pros, the cons, what I'm supposed to understand before I start embarking onto a cleaning company? And yet, for me, it looked like cleaning companies in Uganda weren't structured in sense of don't have a body that governs them. You cannot be able to, you know, say that there's a group of cleaning companies that do this, their structure is this, they have systems that they have built and the system is like this. So that's what I wanted to get from someone who is already in there, so that I could pick a leaf, learn, understand.
This association,
exactly.
For traders have an association,
exactly. So
and musicians and everything. Now the cleaning business doesn't have that particular thing. Where like you feel like, okay, we are in one group are doing the same thing and we're being governed or monitored or even regulated by this particular thing. There was nothing like that?
No, there was nothing like that.
Okay.
That was it was quite sad, but I'm like, most of them, they grow to it. Maybe it's not yet there. Okay. But then somewhere at the back of my mind was like, I think, yes, this is a space that is still growing. Yeah. Finally,
the inspiration was there, the passion is there. Now, where did you like set off? Like, okay, you know what? I've gotten advice this. I don't know whether I need it or not. I don't know whether I'm discouraged or not. But what was that? Like, you know what? This is the direction I'm going into.
For me, that's personality. It depends. Yeah, you're not going to have everybody coming to you and being receptive to you. So it is the resilience to just push through and say this person is not going to put me down. So many people, yes, because quite a lot of years, the competition is there. There are people that will always block you, but it's your mindset and the positive attitude that you have, and you're like, it's okay. If Lydia doesn't come through, I'm sure there's another Stella that will go like, okay, this is what it is. You can take your chances. You can try here. This is cleaning. You need to have this. You need to have that. Yeah, I'm not asking them from their manuals. I'm not asking them for their systems so they could share it with me. I just wanted someone to just give me a brief, something.
And also to encourage you that
to encourage you that it's doable. I've done it for 5 years. I've done it for 2 years.
And you don't need 2 years.
Yeah, so that someone can be able to be encouraged, and you're like, it's okay. I think if she has done it, if Stella can do it, I can as well do it.
Finally, wafuna omuntu oyo.
Yes, I did. It was very interesting because, of course, girls bitter in there. I was like, I mean, it's streets are hard, people are not so receptive. But so when I met this gentleman, he runs a cleaning company, I owe it to him. He asked me, you have quite a lot of passion, you haven't even started, what drives you? Sorry, so omwami ono nasanga omwami ono nangamba passion eno ya cleaning wajijawa so ne munyonyola yaina quite time. The other lady didn't even give me 30 minutes or even 15, and it was okay. But this person was like, come, sit down, tulambulira, watandika dio kwagala okukola cleaning, ni munyonyola, I had a lot of passion, I want to do this, I believe we can be able to do that. If I could get machines, we can reach out to people in homes. There's so many homes, there's quite a lot that we can do. Maids are not structured, abantu baleta abakozi, baleta mumaka, basubira nti omukozi amanye ekyokukola naye omulese, remember ye ajja n'ekigendererwa kimu okukola afune sente ezo at the end of the month. Naye tali trained ate nawe ng'omuntu we wakatoyina budde kumutraininga. Maid bamulese ku Sunday omukozi. Ku Monday ogenda kola. Gwe osuubidde nti gy'avudde mu kyalo amanyi flash toilet naye nga tagimanyi. Omusuubidde nti ajja kutegeera nti eno gas cooker bagilightinga bwe bati. Bagirongosa bwe bati. So nosanganga togenda munenya because taina training eyo naye gwe mu mutwe gwe endowooza ye kugamba nti ye akitegeera kyalina okukola. But the truth is takimanyi yazze kukola. Ate yazze kukola basics. The basics in cleaning anybody can do it. That is why cleaning companies tezirina kubeera basic. Because any maid can be able to do that. Maid asobola okukwata ekisimula n'asiimula. Buli muntu yenna asobola okusiimula. Buli muntu yenna asobola okwoza ebintu mu sink. Naye what makes a cleaning company enjawulo ebeerawo ku cleaning company n'omuntu owa bulijjo is that gwe oli structured muli trained okubanga mwine ebyuma ebisobola okutegeera osobola okumanya nti eno sofa ya leather but protecting bwe bati yes you pay attention to details yes buli wamu we reach every corner there are machines that are supposed to help us machines waliwo machines etutuyamba okuba ku byetukola ate ne machines ezo zituyamba mu budde ennyumba ennene real estate has grown real estate ekuze nti interior designers bachusiza houses
like a modern
the modern living it's quite very impressive that ne cleaning companies we need to step up to kubanga tutambulira ku the aesthetics that are being created and further maintaining what the interior designers and the contractors create. So you can create something that is worth 1 billion shillings, which is a house, but what is the price of maintenance? I keep on telling people repairs is very expensive than maintenance. So if this sofa,
why do you say so?
Yes, eno sofa je tutudeko weba teli maintained no jiteko wakango jiguze B plus wherever it is, you shipped it from wherever it is, wherever you're shipping it from, and it costs you 20 million shillings.
But you can't maintain.
And you have children at home that use our homes to lounge because it's their paradise. So at the end of the day, it has milk, it has juice, it has some dirt. And what is a maid going to do? Is going to get any rug, any piece, and do what the best she can. And while she does the best that she can, she's still going to leave the kids to use this as their book and blackboard, and they'll still write on it. So at the end of the day, those are the clients that are like, I need to change my chairs. But value yentebeje was because you've not invested in maintenance. Maintenance yechi. Find a cleaning company funa echitongole echilongosa bakuwe routine cleaning. Routine cleaning chechi.
Routine cleaning.
Yes.
Oyinza okufuna company ate maintenance ate nebeera a bit costly every routine otegeza routine banga kyeru lineetaaga kangeze ewaka domestic kuza abantu abali waka oba ma offices
anti kati domestic cleaning tukuwa routine based on the traffic joine waka traffic jengamba chechi oyina abaana bato oyinza osanga Stella toyina mwana muto kati maintenance jenjo kuwa is different from oli aina abaana. Yes, so that is why when abantu ba clients batukubiranga batugamba Stella yampadde number yo twetaaga okujja okulongoosa sente meka. We don't have prices off the shelf.
Buli omu bamwa price ye.
No, because twetaaga okusooka tujje twasesinge ewakaawo kyetugenda okukola. It's not a phone, si simu nti ogenda jigula eno service, which is different from a product. So client ayina okutuwa obudde tujje twasesinge tulabe kyetugenda okukola. While we assess nja kugamba nti katika routine cleaning kajja kubeera every 4 months. Omulala mugambe routine cleaning yo tujitekewo every 2 months kulw'abaana bano abato boyina.
And in every 2 months maintaining a charge eri gye wamuwa in the first place.
No, the first cleanup is always very detailed because it's the first time we are encountering your resource set. So tugenda jiwa a very deep cleanup, which could be slightly costly, but the second time we already have a relationship with you, you're our client already. Tuina of course enkolagana nawe toli client asose ate kubanga tuji maintaining it becomes cheaper. Something that you maintain becomes cheaper because fabaji maintaining tuina routine, we don't want it to get dirty beyond repair, so we come and maintain it, so chiba cheaper. Naye ate bw'omala emyaka endala 3 ate n'oddamu n'otuyita after emyaka 3. Thank you. So that is why it is better you maintain your space than waiting to repair because it's costly.
Bino ebintu byonna byoyogerako mpuliramu techniques of how to run that business. Ebintu byewayiga along the way. Ati producer batatudde ekifaananyi eky'omufaliso, eky'entebe, ekya kapeti, ekya toilet and everything. Learning how to clean those particular places tosobola kugenda ku Google. You have to maybe, I don't know, hands-on and then through experience you keep getting better. There's some mistakes you did.
Quite a lot.
And those are the mistakes that we would like you to share with us. Abalayi baffe nabo bategeere engeri gye basobola obuzihandolinga muba ne challenges wona wali okulaba nti business eno ekula. Kale katumulemu katono nnyo tukomawo. Kale mukulikeyo nnyo mukuumulamu okwo tukyalina Musiime Sharon, CEO and founder Freshly Clean Services in Uganda here. Tubulidde olugendo lwe tuwumulidde wali twali tutunuulira ensobi oba obuzibu oba challenges yayitamu nga akola business eno. Yatandika anoonya inspiration naye n'atagifuna bulungi nnyo. Gladly oba luckily enough nafunayo omuntu n'amukwatako n'amuwa all the information she needed at that particular time. But a cleaning company needs things like machines, data and everything. Machines zino nga tetunagenda ku nsobi ziri n'okusoomoozebwa. Machine ezo sente wazijja wezeza watandika ne machines zo oba did you find a way?
Honestly, nasoka hiring machines. Sagula machines. Yes. For the first entire year, omwaka ogwasooka gwennyini gwe natandikirako, I used to hire machines.
So just obuloko machines ezo kwayanga bozisanga banno
eriyo abatunda second hand machines.
Atya.
Nazo bazirepairinga ate bebamu bebazi hiringa. Kubanga oba toyina sente ezo ennyingi ezisobola okugula machines. Which is different now. Kati machines waliwo eziri as cheap as 1.5, 4 million, 3 million. But nali njagala nnyo machines eziri really strong and nali njagala gula machines empya. Nasagala gula machines enkozeseeko because nali simanyi kizibu ki ngenda gula. So kuddayo eri okugamba nti nali siri risk taker. Nga ndaba kwate amagi gange gonna ngateeka in one basket nga sikisobola. So when nafuna opportunity eyo ey'okubanga nsobola okuhiringa machines, I hired. Naye walingawo obuzibu okuhiringa. Nti twaberanga bangi abahiringa ng'ate machines ezo bazitwala over the weekend okukola mu bitongole ebikola general cleaning over the weekend. Nti bw'oba nga togihirinze between Wednesday ne Thursday up front, Friday, Saturday tojja kufuna machines.
Bw'ogihiringa osasula per day oba
osasula per day. Per day. Each machine per day.
So ojijayo bukyali oba osasula from kangezo gibookinze Wednesday.
Ogibookinga ne understanding n'omuntu agikuwadde. So bw'abanga yo oli daily customer asobola understanding ate ye mwennyini yajja okukubira kugambe machines bagenda zitwala over the weekend obadde ozeetaaga. So you have to think so fast to know that over the weekend ninayo omulimu emirimu ng'ebiri oba esatu no hiring machines. So option eyo weeri. Bw'oba otandika ate kiba kijja kuyambako so that otegeere kino ekintu as you hire, understand, as probably you build. I'm just talking about ndi mukwogera ku muntu ng'agamba nti sente sizirina ezimala. Yeah, kusobola okuhiringa kubanga ofunye omulimu n'otandikira awo mpola abo savinga. Yes, kuba twahiringa machine emu $5,000 no hiringa yendala n'ogenda n'okola n'ogizaayo n'omanya nti nsavinzeeko kino then tujja kwongereza okwo n'omanya nti machine gye njagala okugula ya $3,000,000. So n'okola n'ofuna target oba goal eyo n'ogamba nti kati omwezi guno we guggwa nja kuba nsobola okuwemba nfunye emirimu emirungi nsobola okubanga nsobola okugula eyo machine. So I'm just talking to omuntu nga toyina sente ezennyingi ezisobola okugula machine zonna omulundi gumu kuba machine zo nnyingi. Yes.
Zewetaaga okulwanira business eyo. Kale tudde ku nsobi zewakola awo mu kutandika.
Ensobi zaali nnyingi nnyo ze nakola kubanga jjukira nti ngambye nti sayina background eya cleaning in terms okufuna okusomesebwa okwa cleaning kubanga tetuyina cleaning school mu Uganda. So nga ojja kuyigira mu experience because they say experience is the best teacher.
Yeah. So
atenga neteeka mu that position ey'okugamba nti njagala nnyo nyina passion ekola business eno naye simanyi tine machine eyo weba weeri neetaaga okusooka okumanya nti kozesa ntya ndi ndyoke nzire wa client naye kuba kwagala nti Stella nkubidde omulimu guzze. Yeah. So first and foremost ne twerabira okunoonya okusaba batukole inspection. So nogenda okusanga nga Stella yakugambi ayina set ya sofa emu. So oyina okumanya set ya sofa emu ziri mtebe meka. Thank you. So because of the excitement n'obutamanya, you would straight up get excited. No sanyuka nnyo funye client, funye abaana tugende tukole tufunye omulimu. So n'otuuka nga sofa ziri sets nga 3. Twagambye nti abantu balina modern homes nti alina living room ey'abaana. Mu kisenge kyalinayo sofa. balcony ayinayo sofas
ne wabweru waliwo ebitebe ebituulwamu
balcony kati awo tuli mu sofa meka sets meka ssatu nze baŋŋambye tulinayo entebe ŋŋenze situtte detergents ezimala that's one abaana sirina capacity ninanga babiri so meaning omulimu gukusaze tewagubaze because tewasoose kukola what is important, which was a site inspection. That site inspection eyo luusi it's just kubuuza client ne waba kati olaba ku sofas okyasobola okunsindikira ebifaananyi and it will be clear for me. Naye nali sirina that knowledge, no one told me that, so I made such a mistake. Then obutategeera surfaces with cleaning, because oli kitongole eki-cleaning, people expect you to be professional. That is why tetulinga ba maids abewaka, tetulinga aba cleaning abali mu offices abatali trained. Yes, tusukuluma muko. So mu kusukuluma okwo client aba asuubira okubanga omanyi nga bw'ogenda okutreatinga wooden floor, which is different from floor air tiles neya cement. So obutamanya oba obute training nga gwe okutegeera nti surface eno tulina gicleaninga bwe tuti, otuuke wa client you don't have the right equipments and detergent to be able to understand how to clean tiles, how to clean wooden floors, it doesn't make you credible. Credible is techikufuula professional enough nga a professional cleaner. Oyina okumakinga sure nti otegedde. Imagine floor eno yonna ya wood tuyina eddinisa wano. The first thing we're going to do is to protect the wooden floor because it doesn't deal with water. So a professional cleaner has to know that. Naye mu nsobi gye twakola twali tumanyi nti we tunaamala okulininga amadinisa tujja kudda ku floor. Twali tunamala dinisa nga client yatugobye edda twayonoonye edda wooden floor ye. Yes, so we had to go back to the drawing board to understand, go back to the drawing board and understand tukuma tutya, to protecting a tutya wooden floor. It's very expensive. So if you don't protect the client's property, then honestly you're losing business.
Abantu balo cleaning services tulaba abantu nga baziwaka ne bucket n'ebisiimu bagenda kubeera ate nga maid omulala go hires omulala not a cleaning company. Forgive me if I say this.
It's okay.
I heard a cleaning company ne bajja n'ebisiimuula ne baafu ne bucket. And I was like, where are the machines? Where is the equipment? Detergent anyway. But along the way, those abantu you innovate, you add value to the business and everything. How did you do that for you?
I mean, a cleaning company, you are supposed to be professional enough to understand that you're supposed to have equipments. Oyina kubeera ng'oyina ebyuma ebirongoosa ebikola, oyina kutegeera detergents ki ezikola ku kyogenda okukola. Tuyina window cleaners, tuyina tile polish, glass, yes, glass cleaner, tile polish, tuyina, you know, all these things are there. Naye gwe as a professional cleaner, you can't tosobola kujja mu maka g'omuntu oba any space ng'olina bucket ne squeezer. Why am I calling you? Why shouldn't I use my okulwaki sifuna ba maids kale basatu bembanja gadda abangi? So you're supposed to have equipment. That's the first thing that you're supposed to have in your mind.
Kale losses zino wazikolako agambye client where go, of course that is a loss already.
Yes, a loss.
What business? I mean, any other moment where you really made mistakes, like for example cleaning a mattress. What was in the mattresses kale is in modern and oba ebintu ebyomunyumba nebyonika
nyingi, but I'll share this one. I'll share these two. One, to protect ourselves, our work. Cleaning is in real time. Chichentegeza. Nti simanyo bedda wali wabirako ne oyina siblings twamalanga okusimula n'ogamba tewali abayitawo ngamaze okusimula. Because you know it's going to dirt in the place. So you want the place to first dry, look nice. Because it's wet. So what does that mean? Chentegeza chidi nti cleaning is in real time and you need to be able to protect yourself. To call what we call post-construction cleaning. Post-construction cleaning, cleaning je tukola amayumba oba space omuntu jagendo yingira nga bamaze ogikola ki okuzimba. So sites ezo ziba so dirty. Bakoleddemu welding, abasiba tiles, painters, so the place is really dirty. So bwe twagenda okulongoosa twasanga nga clients ba service providers abalala bali bakola ba painters tebannamala nga waliwo ali mu kudrilling atekamu curtain rods twasanga wali ali mu kusiba glass mu bathroom. So, one, we didn't advise the clients that we are supposed to be the last people at site. Tetwagamba client inti faba jo sembayo asobola okufuna value ya cleaning je tukoze. So fe we batu omulimu batugamba mutandike encha tukiriziganyiza fe we just stood up and left. We went for work nitwagenda otuuka nga site ejjudde abakozi. So one, it's eating into your time. Muri mubudde ali mubudde bwamwe ate client ne bano nabo abakola bagenda kugamba nyabo naffe tuli mu kukola. I know. Painter ajja kugamba because of pressure ajja kugamba omuwemwe essaawa ezo biri. But the truth, yes, but the truth is the paint will not have dried. So, and remember, we are blowing dust, we are deep cleaning. Deep cleaning means we are going to go to every corner. The chaos. Yes, the chaos is too much. Asiba glass ajja kugamba silicone tanna color, it has to take 2 days. So, yes. Yeah. So tuina client omulala Stelencha ono atumalidde obudde tetujja kusobola kukola mu budde tumalirize nyingi dedde tu because tetujja kumala ne tuba tutandise ate wemba mu pushinze to the next day or client or next day mukoze ntya ate awo nali sirina capacity as yet to be able to run 2 sites in a day. One, it's ate into my time. That's one. Two, I wasn't organized enough to explain to a client because nali sirina policies. Kati wetaaga okubeera ne policies. Ogamba client nti I don't work alongside other service providers. Why? Because cleaning is the last thing that should be done before the client. Policies gwazeekolera tutunoonya kutandika business. Yes. Policies gwazeekolera zogenda okutambulirako. Exactly. Because your client tamanyi. They're not going to know this. Gwalina obbagamba nti ffe tukola bwe tuti. Bwe tuba tugenda kujja nera kati na team ekkubira bagamba Madam Stella wasiibye otya encha tugenda kujja kukola ku site yo tubadde tusaba buli ali ku site aveeko kubanga fa balina sembayo meaning onoba tonna bakumaliriza ojja kutuddira otuwe feedback otugambe ha wakyaliyo painter mujira mulinzeeko klika tu rescheduling kati yensobi je nakola it ate into my time client yali agitated of course naye site muli ku mutwe she didn't have anything to do na tugamba kati mwagala nkole ki you have to wait ne tutula ne tulinda but at the end of the day for me every mistake buli nsobi je twakolanga oba buli kizibu kyonna kye twasanganga nga tuddayo go back to the drawing board and find out so what is the solution tutereza tutya ati abantu abatulaba right now abagala okutandikawo ekintu ddala for example abali mu corporate world oba ne bano abalina businesses naye nga bukyafeirinze bagala to try something else tubapulira ebintu what do you put into consideration? This is a cleaning business while you're starting. Yes, while you're starting. One, while you're starting you need to understand that this is a service, not a product. Service industry is very hard. You're dealing with different people. We have had clients that even before your team is 2 hours in, they're calling you to praise you. Oh my God, your cleaners are very smart. They are, you know, they look professional. Thank you so much. We are so excited. And there's one, you're going to send a quotation and they will ask you why the quotation looks as though they are buying a piece of land. Right. Yeah. And secondly, they will tell you, why are you sending me such a quotation where you're going to use my water and electricity? We have all those comments. Yeah. But what does that mean? It calls for a lot of patience to understand. You cannot run this business with no patience. You need to understand because every client is unique. Unique in the sense that there are those that have not done cleaning before, they will not understand it. They will be asking you, do you have machines? How does this machine work? You need to be able to have the patience enough to go tell them, yeah, please go to our website or please go to our social media pages to look at what we have done. And then you need to have time to explain to them because deep cleaning, I need to explain to you how we're going to do it because there are clients that call us, Nebatugamba, I have guests at 3. Can you come and deep clean a house that is 6 bedrooms? You can't clean it in a space of 4 hours. But that's the truth. Na yeta kolangako cleaning, meaning tachimanyi. Muitide, explain to them what is going to transpire, what's going to take place. So for you, as a cleaning company, you need to put it in your mind, you're going to start a cleaning company. That takes quite a lot of patience, discipline. You have to learn and unlearn every day. If you're not ready to learn. Tell me some of the things you unlearned at that particular time. Or you learned actually? I learned, I learned that with cleaning, every day. It gets exciting for me every day because I meet new spaces. Interior designers have taken real estate to another level. Real estate is growing so fast with modern living because I started from domestic cleaning, which is homes. The market is too big. That is why if someone comes to me and says you want to do a cleaning company, I'm like, come. The market is too big. All you need to do as a company, you need to position yourself. What makes you stand out? What makes you stand out? For us, we are known for integrity. Feedback is key. Integrity, feedback. Client is happy, she's going to call us back. Client is happy, she's going to refer us. So for us, a day goes by right now. If you were a client last night, you'll be getting a call right now to ask you, how was the service yesterday? Were you happy with it?
Feedback. When I'm not satisfied with the service.
That's what we want.
Can you guys come back at your cost?
Yes. The feedback for us, actually the bad feedback makes us better. Njagala bad feedback so that to say like us when someone keeps saying you're good, there's something to make me better, something to put me to the edge. So njagalonga meant the team the first time they were early, the second time, this time they came late. So we want to do this, we don't want to do this. So when they give you bad feedback, it's how you take it as a company. Go back to the drawing board, find out why wasn't Madam Stella happy. So it's again, engage the team. Whenever we get bad feedback, while we have our meetings at the end of the month, we have things to look at. Madam Stella wasn't happy. Why was the team late? What happened with time? We didn't finish on time. What happened?
So there's structure. You guys have a time you meet, and then
we have to. We have to engage the team. We have regular meetings, regular trainings. Because we are learning every day. The market is evolving in terms of real estate. That we have modern living, the people that we have tiles that are supposed to be cleaned a particular way, we have sofas that are supposed to be cleaned a particular way, there's stucco paint stucco paint teyetaga mazzi kati omwana gwota trainings anakitegeera atya.
Speaking of omwana gwota trainings, omuntu abatandika business atulaba right now yetaaga oyegedde ku patience, oyegedde ku discipline and everything, aba yetaaga team. Team ogicollecting otya era waba training era bbanga ki?
I mean,
how did you identify? Because some people go solo. So tell me about
so as in for training, buli mwana yenna gwe tuleeta on board as freshly clean, they have to go through training. I don't care where you're coming from. Whether you're coming from another cleaning company, whether you think this is something that you can do, you want to be part of the team, you need to be trained to uphold the values of the company. Because we are in people's spaces, you have to have integrity. And I'm not going to be at every site. I'm supposed to be behind here looking for business. So I have a team that has supervisors that are going to sites to do all this. We have someone who's going to site inspect. Integrity means you don't have to go to someone's home, clean and leave without someone saying, I'm a woman, I have like 1,000 zillion earrings. We cannot have a client calling us and telling us that we can't one. So integrity is key. So with an integrity, you build a team, you have to train them every day. Me having the knowledge without my team having the knowledge is as good as.
Because if you're cleaning and you find money,
how do you deal with it? So for us, while the team is organizing themselves to start work, the supervisors are inside looking at the house. When we find this table like this, we shall clean and leave it like this. Why? Then when we find, atebwe tusanga ng'entebe eno enyenya side eno yamenyeka, we report that. That's why buli we tumala site tuwakuwa report. Can
that report be done before?
Yes, there's one. Yes, and kati your report supervisor will share it with me or the team at office. Yes, ajja reporting anti waliwo entebe emwe ya dining eyamenyeka, waliwo entebe emwe yayulika, waliwo glass eyo windows eyamenyeka. Repairing us, so that at the end of the day you protect yourself as a company.
And that can be done during inspection anyway. Yes,
it can be done during inspection. Sometimes inspection tetuina budde bungi. Nejjukira kuluno tuzze kola, he has enough time and we're going to move everything. We have to move everything. Ate mbamu moving ebintu client watalaba buli kanaku. Stella, how many times do you look at your house every day?
Under chairs, under bed.
You don't. You understand? But when a cleaning company comes, you want to see what they have done. What does that mean? Ogenda kebera buli chintu. So that is when we shall start telling you how the window is cracked and you're like, when was it cracked? I didn't even know. We shall start telling you how the chairs there's one that is broken because you wake up in the morning and go, so we protect ourselves, but again also letting you know about particular things in your home that you haven't, because you have a very big home, 2 maids, 5, you have an 8 to 5, you don't have time. So for us, we help you do that.
What muntu yandibadde concerned about right now was about bookkeeping and marketing this particular business. How does it need marketing? How do you do it for the particular cleaning business?
Thank you so much. Kati ekintu kya marketing ekyo ffe twakigonza at Freshly Clean. Tuli associated with a group of entrepreneurs. A group of entrepreneurs called BNI.
Okay.
So BNI is our marketing strategy. BNI is our marketing tool.
Okay.
We belong to a community of experienced entrepreneurs abakola businesses ez'enjawulo ezitali cleaning. Tuyina ba lawyer, tuyina ba real estate, ba contractors, plumbers, tuyina abasawo doctors, we have schools. Kati abo bennyini betukolagana nabo be batuwa emirimu be batu referringa. So we do business with them, and because we are credible enough, batuwa emirimu. So I belong, for us, that's our marketing tool. I belong to BNI. BNI is a very, very, very good space for any entrepreneur.
So mwekwate kitongole ekimu bayambako okutambuza emirimu gyemugenda okutunda business.
Yes. Yeah, twetunda nti asobola okumpa business nange ne muwa business. Kati nze sikola ki soza curtains, soza ngoye. Naye kati mu BNI mulimu akola laundry gwempa business.
Ate okutunda business eni mu bantu.
Yes.
That is joganeti
ya kuwa. Yes, ngamba nange ne muwa. Yes, nenkola business ate tanzijako kimu kya 10.
Okay, what about bookkeeping? Let's talk about bookkeeping because we have just 1 minute.
Now, for bookkeeping, such a company, yes, you have to have bookkeeping. You have to have data. Kati okoze otya to reach out to your clients. Stella wewe okoze cleaning mbanye n'okubeera ne database. Nga nyina client bamuyita Stella abeera wano. Tumukolera tumucleaningira entebe. Then otubeera ne database ngeyo yaba clients. Then have a database that also shows you scheduling chechi okumanya nti Stella yambukinze on the 15th of February no mu calendaringa no manya nti waliwo client omulala Alex wa deep cleaning wa June are you ready for them, what does he need, no manya nti waliwo then nombeera ne bookkeeping ne data wamwe owa machinery zetaaga okubeera serviced. Zigenda di for servicing. So you have to be organized. Bookkeeping helps you be organized with the books of accounts, with the teams, then again also with your machinery. It's very, very important. Without that system, it's not going to help you be organized. That's why you find a cleaning company, it has everything, but they're so disorganized because you don't have a system.
Kale. Well, there's a message here. Hello, Stella and Sharon. Thanks for the program. I have something about becoming an entrepreneur from Sharon's journey. But can I get a job from our company? Thanks again. Oh, okay. I don't know the name. But is it possible? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. We are growing every day because we have ventured into commercial deep cleaning. Commercial deep cleaning where they give us contracts. We are able to maintain a space. So they keep on coming up, and we recruit every now and then because we need such spaces to be filled. Yes, there are opportunities, but one key is willingness to be able to merge into the values of the company, and the willingness to learn, because if I'm still learning every day, because the market is evolving, so you also need to come with a mindset of learning, positive attitude. You need to be able to work under particular kind of pressures. The pressures are there and they will not stop. So the pressures are there, so you need to be also be able to we most definitely right now we want to deal with senior 4 so that they can be able to also understand when I tell you you need to mix this and that. Whenever you can be able to express yourself while you go. We had a white client and then I had a team that was a little below the standard and they could not express themselves. It was a problem. They would clean, but then the client was like, I can't have people in my home that I cannot talk to.
That's why these meetings are really important.
Yeah, they're really important at the training and then finding that team that is going to help you be able to push the brand. At the end of the day, thank you. I'm not at site most of the times, but work happens and I get feedback. Even before, I don't even know where the team is because the supervisors are organized, and I'm receiving a client telling me, your team is here, they came early, I'm so impressed, thank you so much. It's because you have a system that is working. System where we call Joina. It doesn't matter matter how big the system is, but if the smallest system is working, then that's what you keep and organize. Then that's what you need to build on.
General message, Sharon. In seconds, general message to anyone who wants to start a business right now, and they are looking at the inspiration, where to find inspiration and everything.
Okay. One, chenandi yogede eri omuntu yenna eyandiyagadde otandika business kiri bwe kiti nti buli kintu kyonna ky'olowoozaako sooka okole research to find out. Don't just jump. Tobuuka kutandika ku kintu kino nga tonnafuna because you're excited. Excitement still, yes, agenda to drive you to that one particular thing, but go down to the drawing board, funa enough information about ekyo choyagala, then funa that person that inspires you. Yeah, try to go to them if they are reachable. If they are not, start. There is no power as starting. I would rather someone starts and fails than failing to start.
Do the mistakes, learn from them.
Yes,
learn
every day.
Everything.
Because Rome was not built in one day. But when you start, go back and find out. There is always that thing.
Okay. Omuntu nga akoze business nga efeirinze mirundi ejiwera at different attempts at that particular business. Sobola kugamba okukyusa okuba mu business okudda mu ndala abamba ina fear nagamba bina akola eri or something.
Of course we have serial business people that will never be in one business, that are jumping from one because they are not patient enough. So but if someone has built...
If something is not working...
There's something that is not working, then there's something that you're doing wrong. Yeah? And it's not until you get to what you're doing wrong then that's when you should find out and go like, you know what, this is not working. I think, yeah, I would rather, because you've tried it, tested, made your mistakes, fallen, got up again, and it has failed, really failed. Then that's when you can decide to go to another venture. But I don't see the reason as to why you cannot wake up in the morning to feed into that one cup that you have than one that you don't even have.
Right.
Yes.
Well, we're if you can wake up every day and you go work for another person, why wouldn't you get the whole energy and vibe to go work for yourself? So I think everybody needs to invest in something. Yes. 8 to 5 corporate jobs, and anyone who is employed in a particular business or company, you can do something for yourself. And here is Sharon, who did something for herself. She left her job and she's like, you know what, this is it. Tuberenga tulibamalirivu usala ukole chintu lumbe echo olimene moyo direction chinja kuguka ngamusa bane mukama akwachireko kale sigade disitela nante tusingane na ko Ranger Friday. Oh, turayi turo mugenyi musufu. Keep it locked here in TV and Spark. Mbagala nyo mukama bakomire.